Hello, Justine D'Andrea here with Bible Journaling Ministries creative team, and today we're using the printables from Genesis 2:24. So the large print is more for the interleaved or the illustrating Bible, and then the smaller ones are for your smaller margin Bibles. You can also use them in your interleaved and illustrating Bible also, but that's kind of the idea of it. You can also use your larger ones in a mixed media book. So today, we are going to be using a small gel plate. I guess you could use a large one if you wanted to. A stencil that kind of reminded me of a wedding theme, acrylic paint to match the printable or whatever you color the printable, some stickles, and my colored pencils. I'll be coloring the printables with those. And then a brayer to use on your gel plate. If you've never gel plated before, then this is a great opportunity for you to see how it works and how simple it is to use, and how fun it will be to use with the printables. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. So to get started, I'm just going to go ahead and use my colored pencils. And because this is more of a technique to use with, we're kind of focusing on stencil, I'm just going to fast forward a little bit through my coloring, but I think it's always fun to watch it in high speed. So, so we'll do that for you. I'm just doing basic colors and coloring with my pencils. Not really worrying much about detail, and I'm keeping it fairly simple. So I'm just doing the cake, and I'll be doing the roses too. So just remember, you can blend colors, and you can just be a little more creative if you'd like. That's up to you. So I'm just doing the grooms all black, and anything on the cake that's white, basically I'm leaving it white. I'm not coloring it in white pencil, but you can. I'm doing the bows in pink, and then the roses I'm going to show you. Hopefully you'll be able to see. I don't know. What I'm doing actually with the roses, I'm doing a light pink first. Then I'm going to go over it with, I'm doing some of my leaves here. Leaves, I'm using light green, and then I'm going over it with a darker green. And then the roses, I did a light pink. Then I took a heavier, darker pink, and I just kind of highlighted with the darker pink, and then I'm using here the blender pencil, which is a clear, it's like an uncolored pencil that just really makes it look really nice and blended together, and it kind of like does its own thing there. The bottom part I'm coloring silver. So what I want to say is, if you've never bought a blending pencil, you might want to, because it really makes a difference when coloring using your color pencils. You can get it on Amazon, I believe. So I'm using three colors. I'm using pink, I'm using yellow, and blue as my primary color. So I'm making some dots and then just coloring in my bow, keeping it, like I said, fairly simple. And then I'm going to use yellow on some of the stripes here. And then I'm going to add stickles later. So again, here you'll see that I'm using the lighter color pink, and then I'm using the darker color pink, and then I'll blend them together. And it really looks nice. Because for me, I like it to look natural. Natural to me is not perfect. So that's what I like. So with the leaves, again, I'll color it the light green, and then I'll go around the outer edges with the darker and kind of like blend it in. So I'm using the flowers and then the cake today. And then the reading, since I have a few seconds here, is Genesis 2:4. Therefore, a man will leave his father and his mother and will join with his wife, and they will be one flesh. Amen. Amen. They forgot to tell us the part how how hard it is to become one flesh. No, I'm just teasing. So this is really, just a really fun technique that you can just, if you're just beginning to learn to use colored pencils, and this is just a nice way to add a little bit of shading and not worry so much about it. So we're going to switch on over to our gel plate. I am using 3 different colored acrylic and a 3x5 jelly plate. It's Gelli. Um, and my rare. So this is so simple. You're gonna once you start trying this, you're gonna love it. You're not gonna be able to stop. Um, and I'm using a stencil that's a floral style stencil that kind of represents to me a wedding. And I'm going to put a few, maybe like 3 dots of each color paint onto my jelly plate. So jelly plates come in different sizes. They come in uh, different sizes, different shapes, that type of thing. Although my focus today really should be on the stencil part. So let's focus on that. When we're using our stencil, you want to have baby wipes nearby, or just remember to wash off the stencil right away. And you want to mix the colors going back, front and back with the brayer, and then maybe once or twice mixing the colors, and then the excess you're going to wipe off on a piece of paper. And that actually can be used in different art projects. You're going to place the stencil on top of the brayer, or the jelly plate. And then you're going to take a piece of paper, because we're just practicing now, lay it on top, and then press into it. Gently press, but make sure you press. My first go through, I don't remember if I got it completely. No, see, it didn't come out completely, so I realized I had to press a little harder. And then this is why we practice on extra papers instead of putting it directly into our Bible. So, like anything, you'll just get used to the pressure that you need. There you go. Look at, isn't that beautiful? Now, when you lift this up, you can also use that side of the stencil. So we have one masking, and then we have another one. So you actually get like 3 maskings out of one print. And it'll come out a little bit differently each time, which is really cool. And then the last way we're going to do it is just by putting the paper on top and printing it onto the paper. So eventually what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put it into our Bible. Lift it up. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I love the way that it blended together. Okay, and then right away you want to go ahead and wipe off your stencil. I don't think I did it right away here, but you probably should do that. I'm diving in. Well, maybe unless you're going to use it again. If you're going to use it again, I guess it'll be okay. I'm diving in with some more colors. Just be careful that you don't make mud with your colors. That's the only thing. Like, you want to go up and back with the brayer, and maybe side to side or something like that, but you don't want to constantly keep going over it. And you can actually do more than one stencil. So if you're doing it this layer here and you lift the stencil, before you put it on another piece of paper, you can add another stencil to it. So I'll show you what I mean. So that's that brayer is really cool because it sits up, and it doesn't get the paint all over the place. Okay, so I'm gonna put the stencil on again. and then I'm gonna show you how I do it in my Bible. So this is just an extra piece because I'm not using the first rubbing in my Bible, which I could if I wanted to take the whole Bible and flip it onto the thing, because I do like that pattern. But what I'm doing is I'm going to actually take the stencil and put it on in my Bible because we have that paint. Remember, we have the second, um, it's all on that side. Let me move my gel plate over. We're still going to use that. Okay, so I have paint on my stencil and I'm going to go ahead and place it on here. And I'm not too happy with the way it came out, but that's okay because I don't want perfect. I don't want perfection. And now we're going to take the jelly plate and we're going to actually just kind of stamp it into our book. So I have two different impressions of my jelly pressing. And then I'm using the extra little bits of paint that are on there just to add it. Kind of looks like confetti to me. So what I would like to show you is how to that you can layer the stencils and use different stencils on the same print. So again, here I'm just preparing my jelly plate using my brayer. And I'm going to use some index cards that I have because I don't know if you've ever done prayer cards, but I think they would be cool. Or you can even make postcards. So here's my first pressing. Make sure you're pressing it nice and um, firm. And then I'm going to go ahead and press it. Well, here I'm trying it with the same color and just taking it off. You can't really see it that much, but you'll see it a little bit more. So um, it's a really cool thing. So what I did is I took one stencil, I put it on, took it off, and then put another one on with the same coloring. So that was kind of like, it was okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer it with a different color. So you can do that once you take your rubbing, or not your rubbing, your pressing. So I'm going to start again, do my pressing, and then I'm going to add a little bit of black. I'm stamping it off, rubbing it off. Okay, so just a little, oh, I decided to do pink first. That's right. I'm gonna do a little pink. Isn't that cool? I'm like, oh wait, I like that. I'm just gonna do that straight up. Isn't that so cool? I love it. I'm telling you, you'll get addicted to this. Okay, so now I am gonna use a little bit of black and I'm just gonna put it in one area, wipe it off, put my stencil on where the writing is, and then press into it. So that's one pressing, and then my second pressing. Isn't that cool? It looks like a postcard. I'm using just a plain. So just so that you could see, isn't that cool that there's different, you can definitely layer the stenciling. All right, so I'm going to show you how I put this together. After everything is dry, I'm just going ahead and using my birthday cake, and I am going to add my stickles to it. And I'm actually going to add the verse to it also. I decided to do that. You can highlight the verse, or you can do like I'm doing here and just add it to the page. So again, if you're interested in being part of Momentum, you can go to BibleJournalingMinistries.com And you'll see there it tells you all about momentum and how great it is. And the really cool thing is there's years of printables in there that you can go all the way back and use. So you won't be bored, I can tell you that. Plus the years of videos that are here on YouTube or in on Momentum that gives you all the techniques between Sarah and Shallon and me. We all have different techniques that we do in the videos. So hopefully you'll go check that out. And of course, if you wouldn't mind subscribing and liking and all that fun stuff, um, this way you'll get notifications for when we have new videos coming out. Also, if you just want to give it a try, Tracy does give out a sample sheet. So if you want to just go over to the website and just sign up, and she won't harass you, I promise. But she does give a free sample sheet, which has a sample of all the momentum graphics in there. So that could be fun to use. So I think I'm liking this page for sure. It's a simple, but it reminds me of a wedding and coming together as man and wife. And of course, I'm going to add my little stickles. If you do decide to do this technique or anything, if you're doing your journaling, go ahead and add it to the page. We'd love to see what you're doing. I'm going to add some blue dots to where I already put pencil in. And then I'm going to add to the top part there where I had colored in a little bit of blue. But like I said, I kept my cake mostly white with just the accents of the color. A little bit of clear where I have the in between the yellow. And I do want to say you have to be careful with stickles because you have to like shake it and then have all the stuff come to the point, and you might want to just squirt it a little bit on a piece of paper to make sure that it doesn't go splat on your project, because it did a little bit on mine, but that's okay. You can see there it kind of ran my um, black ink a little bit. You just have to be careful. And let's see, I think that's probably all I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you'll give it a try. Get yourself a jelly plate if you don't have one. They're so much fun to use. Maybe grab your friends and get together and do some jelly plating. And of course, if you don't have the jelly plate, you can always just stencil a background um, onto your page. Okay, I think that's my time. I think I'm all done. God bless you and keep you. Until next time, my friends. Bye, everyone. Ta-da. Bye, everyone.